Hey there, everyone. It's good to see you all. It's now time to discuss how the day went. So let's go ahead and get started. It all started around 11 o'clock a.m. in the morning. I was woken up by my mom. She was asking if the bacon was still good to eat. She said that my sister thought it wasn't. I said that I had some earlier in the week and said it was fine. And that was that. I don't know if she threw it away or not. Probably, but I can't say for sure. Then I eventually, actually, it happened around like 10:30, and then I woke up officially at around 11. Got up, got out, used the restroom, got some water, greeted my mom, my sister, and my aunt, who were all hanging out and talking in the room. I also greeted my nephew. They asked if they could play the PSVR 2. I said, go right ahead. And then my sister offered to make me breakfast. 2 eggs on toast. I agreed to. So she made 2 eggs on toast. And they were very good. I really enjoyed them. And then, after I was done eating, I washed my plate and I sat down hanging out with my mom, my sister, and my aunt as they were all talking. Then I decided to grab my sketchbook and draw my sister and my mom listening. I showed them, they said they really liked it. I asked my aunt if it was okay if I could draw her, and she said, sure. So I drew her and I showed her, and she said she liked it and thought it was pretty cool. So that was nice. I then decided it would be a fun idea to go on my computer and then work with the streaming software OBS. I wanted to figure out how you could switch seamlessly between your main camera feed and your capture feed, your video capture picture feed. So I was figuring that out because I felt like it would be a really cool idea to learn to draw and do it in a way that is easily documented while at the same time being something I could like post on my YouTube channel as sort of a daily driver to get me to be like, oh, I did 20 minutes. Here's evidence of me doing that amount of time working on learning to draw. And maybe even another 20 minutes of working on my Brain Jam YouTube channel. So I was trying to figure out how to switch seamlessly between my main video capture and my screen I was working on. I also needed to download an updated driver for DroidCam, which is a app for OBS that you can use to use your phone as the main camera. And I think my phone's camera is much better than the built-in camera on my well, not built-in, it's external plug-in camera, a 4K Nexigo. I think my phone's better at capturing light and reducing any kind of noise or flicker. I feel like the 4K Nexigo, it does a good job capturing a good amount of detail, but when it comes to darker environments, or lots of detail, things start getting fuzzy and you get ghosting and artifacting, which is kind of annoying. You still get a general view of me, but it's not something that looks super duper, I don't know, good, I guess, in terms of like zero artifacting. So yeah, I figured out how to set up Droid Cam, and I was trying to figure out how to set up a scene and switching between different video captures seamlessly, and I didn't really figure it out. My mom asked if, oh, and before going hardcore into the work, I decided to get a cup of coffee. My sister got this thing called Harry Potter chocolate frog coffee mate. I asked her if it'd be all right if I could try some. She said yes. So I poured that in, mixed it up, and had that while I was working on my video. And I will say that it was very good. It kind of reminded me of those chocolate truffles, with the nuts in them that are sold during Christmas. The Lindt chocolate with the nut circular thing. It kind of tasted like that, which was interesting. I think maybe they were trying to go for sort of a European style chocolate angle, which interesting. It had a good flavor. Yeah, so I got pretty deep into that OBS thing, but then my mom asked if I could go into the pool as sort of a final send-off for my aunt and nephew because they wanted to hang out with me before they left. So I was like, absolutely. So I changed into my swimming trunks and swam around for a bit, set my timer for when I need to leave to go to work. And yeah, we just hung out and had a great time. It was a lot of fun. And then when it was time to go, I officially said goodbye to my aunt and my cousin. It's funny. I think in the last video I did, I called them my nephew, but a nephew is your sister or brother's son, and none of my sisters or brother have a son, so that's not what, instead it's my mom's sister's son, so I should have said nephew instead, but I didn't, but oh well. Anywho, with that correction out of the way, I say goodbye to them, wish them safe travels, got into my work clothes, and I drove off to work. When I eventually arrived, I punched in around like 2:07. Very unusual, because normally these days I get a 3 to 11 shift, where the entire day I do sweeps. But for this particular shift, I did a 2 to 11, which was unusual. And my co-closer did the sweeps all day, and they also closed the exact same time with me, which was interesting. I haven't really had that happen before. Usually, I guess I have, so it's not that different, really. But anywho, most of the day was spent bagging for customers, saying silly puns. If I could think of a funny pun I said, I guess one was, what do you call the opposite of a yawn? An onion. And I showed an onion while I was bagging, and it got a little chuckle, so that was fun. And yeah, silly stuff like that. I also took out orders to customers' vehicles. It was a very hot day. It was like 100-degree weather. On my second hour of work, I did do a carts. And honestly, people were complaining about the weather, about how it's 100 degrees and it's like, I don't like it. But I mean, even though I personally prefer cool, breezy weather myself, I wasn't really bothered by the 100-degree weather for some reason. I think it might have been something to do with the fact that it was a very dry heat. And, because it was so dry, something about it just felt like weirdly, like, I don't know the best way to describe this. I guess mystical, like, ooh, I'm in the desert planet Dune. I feel the epic story unfolding within me. Like it was sort of a fictional storybook heat, if that makes sense. Which is a weird way to put it, but that's like how I felt about it. Like it didn't feel like something that was like too overwhelming. Now, if it was like a moist heat, with humidity, then I would have been singing a different tune. I would have been saying, "Oh gosh, please end my suffering. I want to take a shower right now." But because it was a dry heat, I wasn't bothered. I don't even think I sweat that much in it. I mean, I probably did, but again, I wasn't really bothered by it. It was an interesting thing going on. But anyways, after my second hour of doing a lot, I took my water canteen. I asked for my first break. I was given my first break. I went out into the nearest location to get some free water. I returned and I did some breath work outside. It was very nice. And then it was time to return to work, where I did go backs for a while. I almost forgot to mention, when I started doing the lot, um, I was supposed to immediately start right after, but there was a customer looking for specific type of beer, and I was trying to help them, but I couldn't find the beer they were looking for, and I asked one of the GMs, and I showed them a picture of that beer, and they said that we don't currently carry it, so I had to tell the lady looking for it. It was an older lady. So that caused me to be like around 12 to 15 minutes late on my lot duty. And when I returned, they said it's completely empty. We're going to get someone out there to help you. And so it was me and another coworker, co courtesy clerk, that all brought the carts in. So yeah, thank you so much for your help. I really do appreciate it. That was a lot for sure. So yeah, after bringing in the carts, and doing the water and all that, and the break, the breath work, um, the rest of the time was pretty much just doing go backs, taking orders out, and bagging. It was then time to punch out for lunch, and it was my first hour-long lunch in, I don't know, I think like maybe 3 or 4 weeks. I know my last hour lunch was like 11 to 8 shift, and I don't think that was really that far away, honestly. So yeah, it went really well. I decided to drive home because I didn't bring lunch today for work. So when I arrived home, I greeted my mom and my sister. My sister was doing some stretching or yoga, and my mom was like outside enjoying the pool. And so I decided to reheat some calzones that our family friend got by doing the moisture pan heating method. Put the calzones in. Well, first I put the pan on and then a glass covering on. I heat it up. I wait for it to warm up a bit. And then I put a little water in and it steams up the inside. And then once it's fully heated in there, I put the calzone in there. I had to cut off a slice of it because it was bit. So I was like, I don't trust that bite. So I cut that and threw it away. And then I put the calzone in and heated in there for like a good 4 minutes. And when it was done, I took it out, and it was, I ate that. It was pretty good. Very cheesy, very saucy, good amount of pepperoni. I give it 2 thumbs up. I also had a A&W with it, and that was very good. And then my sister gave me some of her Cheetos, which I was very grateful for. So I had, that, and then my mom decided to heat up some leftover beans, rice, and beef, and use that as sort of a chip dip. And so we had that chip dip together, and I got another soda, this time a Coke Zero. And yeah, very good. I really liked that quite a bit. So after we were, heating everything up and putting some sour cream in there and cheese, my mom mentioned that our family album video, there were some hallucinations in the video, AI hallucinations, because we used AI to make certain pictures move, to kind of add a little bit of storytelling in there. But one of the pictures, apparently, one of the family members turned from a boy to a girl, and we didn't catch it at all when we were making the video until after we, released it. And we showed it to our family members like yesterday, but I guess none of them picked up on that either. Like, no one pointed out and said, "Hey, why did I turn into a girl?" So, I guess they were too distracted by the magic of like everyone moving around to really notice some of the weirder aspects. Like, one weird aspect that I found was that in one of the pictures of my grandfather on my mom's side, he's at the beach, flexing his muscles, and it looks like he has like an extra nipple, which I didn't notice until after watching the video again. So yeah, and then we decided to rewatch the video to see if we could see anything else that was kind of weird. And one of the weirder things was that there was a photo that me and my mom decided to try to upscale using ChatGPT's image editor, of me and my sisters and brother. And two of my sisters looked normal, but me, my middle sister, and my brother both looked like completely different people, which was very funny. My sister got a big kick out of that, my youngest sister, so she filmed some footage of like on the screen of our weird faces and decided to post it on our group chat and say how messed up it looked. And then my mom tried to like damage control, saying, "No, it was because we were really tired and we were running out of time, and we didn't really notice that until after we posted the video." So yeah. Anywho, after that, I said goodbye to my mom and sister. I got in my car. I drove back to work. At work, I punched in. I covered for the first half hour of sweeps. I wiped down all of the check stands within that hour and did all the go backs that I could. And then I pretty much spent most of that time just bagging for quite a while, and then alternating between bagging and doing go backs. I punched in the sweep, then my co-closer who did sweeps all day wiped down one of the check stands that was recently in use, number 6, because that one was put out of use. And then, yeah, it was pretty much just me. I had lot for the last 3 hours, so it was alternating between clearing lot, bringing carts in. And then I realized during my last hour, time went by so fast today. I don't know why it was going so fast. Maybe it was, I don't know, something about like having an extra hour of lunch and maybe that family time and working on that, program felt very rejuvenating to me, the OBS program, in a way where it made like time feel much faster. Don't ask me why, it just kind of felt like things were speeding along, and I was like always talking with the customers and that kind of thing. Very interesting. But anyways, the last hour I noticed that the trashes outside were not thrown out by my co-closer, who was put on sweep duties, and I was confused because for me, when I'm on sweep duties during closing time, I usually knock out the trashes pretty early on, like around like 5:30 to 6. So the fact that the trashes were like literally bursting at the seams outside and being completely loaded, and they weren't being taken out, it was almost the closing of the day, had me very confused. It's like, how come my co-closer's not doing anything to take out these outside trashes? And then, like, as I was putting carts in, I saw that they were taking trash out, but it was the small trashes in the, you know, the check stands, but it wasn't those big ones. So I was like, well, these need to be taken out, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be doing it. So I guess I'll do it. So I just let my closing manager know that I'll be doing that. They said, sure, fine. So I took out those trashes, but then in the midst of taking them out, a customer dropped their soda can, their Coca-Cola can, and it caused one of the sodas to burst and spill soda everywhere. So I had to get it, put it in a double bag, bring it in the back, take out all the sodas, put them in a banana box, except for the one that broke. Empty that one, put it in the recycling, um, throw away the box in the bag, and wipe down the area where the soda spilled. Of course, I wiped that. I did that first before doing everything else, so no one would slip. But that ate up a lot of time because you have to inspect the cans, you got to put them away because they get store credit. So if you don't do that, so the store doesn't make any money off that. So yeah. It was a interesting roadblock, I guess. But once that was done, I took out the trashes, I closed the produce blinds, and I cleared the lot, and I brought in the rest of the carts, and I wiped down check stand 4, and my co-closing manager helped me wipe down check stand 4 to make it speedier. I punched out, I said good night. See you on Tuesday because I have Monday off. And then I drove home. When I arrived at home, I greeted my sister and I decided to eat the last of the strawberry ice cream along with like 4 or 5 brownies from the family gathering, and listen to a Simi and Jibby video where he and his buddy Iggy Eggman Rodriguez are talking about this movie called Requiem for a Dream, which is a funny discussion. I always like the theme song they have at the beginning where Iggy sings, and it's pretty, I like it. I don't know, I think it's charming. And then, yeah, I was listening to that. I was playing the game on my Switch. I don't know why. I'm just blinking out on the name of the game right now. It's like a Dark Souls-like game that was published by Annapurna Interactive, where the characters don't have any faces at all. It's like you're playing those posable figures you get for art class. Ashen. I think it was called Ashen. Yeah, I was playing that while listening to the Simi Jimmy video, and then like eating the ice cream with the. I made a coffee and had that with the brownies. It was pretty good. And then after I ran out of the ice cream and I was done with the brownies and the coffee, I decided to scroll through YouTube because they have like community posts that are randomly recommended to me. And there was one about this apparently leaker that leaked GTA 6 gameplay too early, and so now Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive are trying to find the person who did this, so that way they can face significant repercussions for their actions, i.e., like going to prison, paying insane fines of up to $5 to $10 million in damages. Yeah, so and the thing that spurred this on was someone posted like this fake troll comment from Rockstar Games on X, which was, once again, it was a fake comment. It wasn't real, but it was basically like of them saying, when we find this hacker, they're going to get a punishment worthy of 1700s France, but, in a more darker way than that is what I'm going to say. But yeah, it got me into this big research rabbit hole of finding out what happened to the previous leaker that decided to leak GTA 6 footage in 2022. Apparently, it was like an autistic teenager that was unemployed in the and they plead incompetence or mental incompetence, so they were in a hospital stay, but then they were later redirected to prison when the doctors believed that they were fine, to go to prison. And now apparently the person who did this will be standing trial again sometime later this year for their actions. And apparently the person who leaked the GTA 6 footage is going to face similar repercussions, but even more severe because, Rockstar Games had planned showcasing the game on Netflix, and having the gameplay show up this early is ruining their ability to really have those surprises for players, and so they want to get back at the person who's doing this. It's a very interesting situation going on here, and when they find, and apparently they're doing this by like doing like a subpoena on Discord and X and pretty much every social media platform having to do with GTA that they could possibly find, so they can eventually track down the person who did it. Apparently, it only took them 3 days to find the person who hacked the first time in 2022. So for this time around, I asked Google's Gemini how long it may take them to find the person who hacked into their systems this time around, and apparently Gemini thought it would take between a week to 2 months to eventually find out who did it. So yeah, and apparently the leaker is asking for cryptocurrency for more footage of the game. So yeah, interesting behavior, to say the least. Interesting behavior. I mean, I guess they're like, hey, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that there isn't a gameplay footage available yet. But they're if they ever get found, they're certainly going to, wish they didn't do any of that, because then they're gonna, face some serious issues. It's going to be interesting to see how this story plays out. And then after that, I was talking to my sister about it, and it was like talking about the whole GTA thing and about the release gaps and how they take forever. It's really weird. I was never a GTA guy, by the way. I've never really played the franchise that much. I tried one time with GTA 5, and I felt like kind of icky playing it. It just felt like you're really, being a thief or hijacking cars in Grand Theft Auto 5. And I know it's like a game, and the whole point is like the freedom you get from doing that. But at the same time, it just felt like, ugh, I kind of feel ill just playing this. So, yeah. And then I decided to watch this video from LA Beast, where he decides to eat a cake full of Carolina Reapers for a lady, I think her name's Michelle, and this video was made 12 years ago, and basically decided to eat in front of her because she was a huge fan of the channel and she got leukemia. So he was doing it, for a good cause. And he ended up eating so much Carolina Reapers that he threw up in a bucket right next to the lady, and the lady was like cheering and laughing the whole time. I can't say I've ever seen a video where someone's cheering and laughing at someone throwing up in a bucket in a hospital, before, but I guess there's a first time for everything. So yeah, it was very funny, in a weird way. And then my sister went out and got some cake. We had that. It was like a berry cake. It was all right. I thought the frosting was a little too thick for my liking. And then I remember I had another cup of coffee with the cake, and we also had some salami and cheese and crackers because our family members brought that with them. So that was pretty good. I liked the crackers. I thought those were really good. Reminded me of the Passover crackers from church. And then after that, I remember we were done eating that together, and she put that away. And then I decided to continue watching the LA Beast video. And then when I was done, there was another one recommended to me. This one was about him eating a 7-year-old sandwich from a Tiger Wood championship. The one thing I got obsessed with this particular video was that he, when he received the sandwich that was frozen for 7 years, whoever sent him the sandwich did the worst job insulating it to ensure it kept cool. Instead of, and I found this out after asking Google about this, instead of putting it in a styrofoam container, because styrofoams are really good insulators, and filling it with a bunch of like super cold frozen ice packs from the top, the sides, and the bottom, and vacuum sealing the sandwich to ensure true coolness. This person literally just decided to get a cool gel, freeze it, put it next to the sandwich that was not vacuum sealed, and then wrap it with a bunch of aluminum foil, and then put it in a plastic bag, and then put it in a box. And on top of that, when they shipped it, it went into a Kentucky warehouse before being officially shipped to the LA Beast. And it took 36 hours to eventually get to him. And I researched on Google that apparently if you do that, you put a freeze gel pack, just one, next to a sandwich wrapped in aluminum foil. Aluminum foil is not an insulator unless like you're wrapping something that just came out of the oven and you're trying to keep it hot. Aluminum foil is a conductor of heat, which means if you wrap something cold in with it, it's going to absorb the ambient temperature around it and then bring that back into the packaging, meaning that it's going to melt the ice gel pack that was next to the sandwich, which it did, and he said it felt like a room temperature item. I was sweating. It's going to cause the sandwich to potentially get like lots of bacteria growth that will make it very easy to get foodborne illness from that sandwich. And so when I found that out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. He's literally like going to get himself sick just for people's amusement. That is insane. And honestly, all that could have been avoided if the person who was sending the sandwich would simply just vacuum seal the sandwich, put it in a styrofoam packaging, and load it up with a lot of cooling gel packs that were chilled or frozen for at least 48 hours, and covered super tight, and then put that in a cardboard box. Like if they did that, the sandwich would have at least been refrigerator cool. by the time it arrived to him, which would have meant it wouldn't have to worry. There wouldn't be any worry about any bacterial growth. So the fact that that happened was insane, to say the least. I was like, this is ridiculous. But interesting, I will say that much. So yeah, after seeing that insanity and him eating it, and he described it as like a cheese sandwich with like old like flower petals in it, because it was what are those things that go into Memento? It was like a Memento cheese sandwich that cost him, I think he said like $500, because it was a sandwich that was being given out during a Tiger Woods game from 2019. Like I said, absolute insanity. But hilarious nonetheless. He even said in the video, don't tell my wife about this purchase, which was funny. But yeah, after doing that insane research and watching that crazy video, I decided to take my vitamins and brush my teeth. I need to use the restroom. I was done with that, and I was listening to another LA Beast video where he was eating different types of canned food product, from potted meat to old 1970s like muffins. It was a very interesting video. And then I went to my room. I was like, oh my gosh, I probably should record a new update video. So here it is. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go record myself reading Dune now, and Dune Messiah, and then I'm going to go to bed. Good night, everyone, and take care.